Hey MassArt, I messed up this week and I didn't record the video with sound. Testing 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be voiceovering the lecture part of this video. Um, so I'm sorry it's late. But this week I'm going to go over logos. Tonight for homework you are going to produce your outlines and you're actually going to write or you're going to try to write some descriptions for your garments if you can. But something that was actually going to act as like the in-class activity, my boyfriend is drumming, I don't know if you can hear that, but something that is going to act as the in-class activity is the logo. So you're going to make a logo. It's either text-based or a graphic logo or whatever. For either your brand, so your personal brand as a designer, or your collection. So, like, um, if your collection is about global warming, then you might do a little leaf logo or something like that. But for your brand, you would include like your name. And it isn't required that you put this logo on your flats, although you're welcome to. Um, graphic flats with logos on them can be really cool. But you do have to include it like at some point in your catalog, right? The goal of this project is to prove that you've kind of learned how to lay things out. I know that most of you are pretty adept at flats now. So like incorporating that logo into your catalog would be really great. Um, so yeah, let's jump in to the voiceover. We are going to make the classic circle within a circle with text going around it, kind of traditional logo. So we're starting off um, with the circle tool, and we've drawn two circles, and I'm going to change their colors so they're contrasting, and we're going to get their centers aligned and align one with the other. So we're using the alignment tools to do this time. There is an option to draw them holding Alt, which use this as center, but the align tools, that's horizontal align center, and that is going to line up the centers one way, and then vertical align center will line up the centers on the other axis, which means they'll be perfectly on top of each other. So the align tools, like their little symbols, do a good job of explaining what's going to happen to the shapes. So now they're perfectly aligned, and we're going to use our shape builder tool, and we hold Alt and we subtract the center from the outside. So now this is a transparent shape, and I'm going to make it a more pleasant color combination, and I'm also going to thicken up the line stroke up in the properties panel so it's much more graphic. And then we're going to add text around the outside, but to do that we actually need another circle for the text to run around. So I'm going to draw another circle, a third medium-sized circle, and we are going to align its center and make it invisible. So no fill and no stroke. Align center. There we go. So now we need the type on a path tool. Oh, I guess I'm continuing to adjust the size here. If you hold Alt while you scale, Alt and Shift, it will scale from center. And actually, if I had drawn the circle holding Alt and Shift and clicked on the center and dragged out, it would have drawn from the center. I'm going to do that later with a star that I fill the center with, but we're going to get the type on a path tool. The regular type tool would just make a straight line, but the type on a path allows us to click on this text and it's automatically going to fill it with a lorem ipsum, which is just placeholder text. Some of the practice videos I watched did not include, it didn't automatically fill it with a placeholder text, so you would have to start typing in order to see the text. And I've already been playing around with mine, so mine is like below the line, but yours will probably start above the line. It's just happened to be where my settings are. So we're gonna make a logo for Kelsey Thornton Design, and we're going to use it to explain some of the functions of the circle. So um, I have a little trouble selecting the part I want to select here. I had to use the, I think it didn't, I had to use the black selection tool, but I had to click on the upper part of this line. So I mess up and I try a few different options here. So black selection tool, but I don't click on the white dot, I click above the white dot. And then I'm able to move these two separate lines with white dots on them around the shape. And this is going to show us where the text is going to end. So if I leave it outside of the text, then both of the text stays there. But if I make it end inside the word Thornton and release, then the word Thornton goes away. It kind of limits the amount of text that's available, or the amount of space for text that's available. So we're going to end up placing it kind of across from the other text, and then we are going to use the center line. Oh, I'm just continuing to display that like it'll run out of space if I keep typing at that point. Yeah, so we're going to leave it kind of directly across from the starting point of the white line, and we are going to use the kind of T-shaped vertical thing to adjust. The T-shaped vertical holder in the lines that become type on a path lines. It will also flip which direction the text faces. So if you drag it inwards, it'll be on the outside, or it'll just swap which side you're on. Because yours, my current my baseline shift is already set really way down. So I'm in the character panel, and remember, if you can't find it or if you don't have it out, you can go to Window, Character, and I think I even mentioned this again in a second, and that's my baseline shift, which is already at -42, but yours might have been set to 0. I was just playing around with it in preparation for this, so I'm talking about how you can go to Window, Character there. So the baseline shift affects how far above or below the line the words are. Uh, I am so surprised I apparently didn't record the rest of that section.